Hello, I'm Will Forge. Today we will forge. I'm a little bit, still, I get later and later every day it seems. And I need to get that fixed. But, whatever. The point is that we are forging. The point is that we are making progress. So I had made all of these, script brains. I had scripted out all of these stalactites at the very, off stream yesterday, at least half of them, 5 of them. There are 10 total. I got to a point where the budget was at 99%, and I was like, okay, can't do that many script brains, that's not possible. They take up too much of the budget. So I had to restructure it, and now we have this. I have to register them all here for every single one of them, which I reduce the number of nodes by making the intact stalactites be area monitors and put them all into it to, delete them at the beginning of the match. And then I have these, which are like little functions here, so that this will take up less space. And as you can see, there's 2 of them. I'm about to have to make it a second script brain that's full of these. They're global events, so that should be fine. But I need to make a second script brain that can take all of these and then can handle 8 of them, because I've run out of space. Let's see, did I save it yesterday? Okay, good, I did. Yesterday, whenever I was working on it, I tried to copy this, and then it came in with like only half of them, and then a bunch of these little lines were going off to this corner and not attached to anything, and I have no idea what was up with that. But now I should be good to go. I just need to copy this into a second script brain, and we will be ready. And that should be the last thing we have to do. Before bots, and that's why I put that as my stream today. It just occurred to me I didn't edit the name properly. Let's see, this should be 99. Scripting and adding bot Nav-mesh. We will save it. We will name the stream that. Okay, so go in here. We're gonna have to put a bunch of these, and we're gonna drag it around a little bit so it doesn't jump all the way down there and mess itself up. And actually, let's move it down so that next time we can paste up there, so they don't mess each other up. Okay. Got all of these. Oh, we're gonna have to do that again anyway. Let's see. But we need to get our references now. And to do that, what we do is get out. Okay, I believe I have that one and this one done. And they both work. That's the important thing, is that they work. Now I've got to get these. Ooh, 8, 22. Let's see, I was kind of trying to do them in order so they'd be a little bit organized as I do it. Okay, apparently I have this one and that one done. Yeah, there we go. Let's go to this one then. Dun 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 dun. Hopefully we don't have those audio issues anymore, where the microphone gets messed up, because at least on day 100 might be, actually, since we're doing the Nav-mesh today, which would be pretty cool, to be honest. I suppose a good timing. I actually had my days counted wrong for a while there, where I was putting like day 80 something. Oh, I forgot to get the intact stalactite as well. This one. There we go. I had them marked wrong for a while, and I realized that it's been much longer since, or not much longer, a couple days more since, and somehow I just had lost count of the days whenever I was going live by just ticking up that number, and ticked it up too slowly. It was probably because I was missing days. So I kind of straightened that out yesterday, and you know, on all my videos. But yeah, let's see. Drifts, hanging. What have you been up to, Ocom? Are you what are you forging at the moment? Hopefully Nav-mesh will build for you. Might not if this terrain is too complex. Hopefully, yeah. I really hope it does. Otherwise, we might need to use like cutters to sort of like limit where the Nav-mesh can build, and then it'll maybe simplify things for it. But like specifically some of the Nav-mesh, or some of the terrain that sort of like clips down through the ground but has a little bit of it up top, you know? I'd be a little worried about that. I'm also worried about the roof. If the roof, that's kind of why I put the roof into its own object, is because if we have to, I can toggle off the roof. And that might help, like, because I bet it projects down from the sky, but then has to go through objects for layers, so I don't know how they do it. But with the code, they probably project down from the sky. Creating documentation for all spawn times for spawnable items on all game modes. Nice. That's awesome. I actually do need to... That is actually something I just realized I haven't set up yet. And I might have to go with the generic options, because I don't know in the mod tools where to find the respawn rates of the individual weapons. I was looking and looking, couldn't find anywhere. And I might need to, like, go into rejected shotguns, you know, or maybe unique. Go into their, what do you call it? What am I trying to say? Discord, that's the word. Go into their Discords and find out from them how to place, or how to do the, how to find the area where it tells you how long it takes for each weapon to respawn, because I just realized I have them all set to default. So if I publish like this, you're going to see a lot of rocket launchers, because they're just a default weapon. So that's all I gotta do, just there. That was it. So now I need to do it again. This one. Oh. See, is this the next one actually in the sequence? Yeah, this is 5, 12, 13, let's see. I think I did this one next. Yeah, 11, here we go. I just gotta do that for each stalactite, and then we can try to build Nav-mesh. See, look at my Halo 2 Classic Steam guide that shows the spawn times for Waterworks 2. Oh, okay, cool. Where do you have that? You said Steam? Can you post a link in chat? I wonder if I've set that to be allowed to. If not, you can link in, I think you can do links in my Discord. I wonder if I have the settings to allow you to do links in my Discord, actually. Let me see. Permissions. There. I have allowed you to embed links. Okay. There you go. So in the Discord, if you can, or in chat if you can, but I tested them back in the day on like Slayer, I think, so they might not be accurate for all game modes, but I don't know if they were that advanced back in the day to make different times for different modes. I don't think they were that advanced, so I think you're right. I think that would be good to go. Did I not get... Wait, what happened here? Oh, right. I was about to copy this and then put new. There we go. Awesome. That's extremely useful. Let's see, I was about to go... here, here, right? Let's see, we've got 7, 8, see. Oh wait, this is the copy. Okay, I'll just go off this one. I looked away and looked back, and suddenly I couldn't remember where I was. Okay, there we go. So, drifts. Hanging. Large. I'll go over how this script works if you want me to, but it's like I chopped up the old stalactite script and divided and accumulated all of them into one, so that I could, well, two, I guess, so that I could functionally just call on this one stalactite. Let's see. Here's my intact stalactite, the only one I renamed. Let's see. 9, 10, 11. Your thumbnail already gives me more information than I had. With 2 minutes 23, 2 minutes 23 seconds for the tank, 30 seconds for the Banshee, 45 seconds for the Warthog, that stuff. I didn't even have that, so your thumbnails already helped. I haven't even watched the video yet. Let's see, and then here is my intact stalactites. So all this one does is, the reason I had to do it this way is because if I left it as complex as it was, the number of nodes here, every time I copied it out, would have been like 3 times as many nodes and 3 times as many connections, or more actually, and I would have to call on these references, like these I had, the dust clouds I had being referenced like I think 4 times each. I had this one referenced like 4 times in like different areas. I think I only had these once, but yeah. The point is that it would have been so annoying to have to like redo the references for all of them. So I just went ahead and decided I'm just gonna put this up here, so it just keeps the map pretty big, and I'll delete it later. I mean, or actually just put a let's put a variable basic number and just put it up here in the corner, and that'll keep my map quite large. If this is lower left and that's the top right, and then I can paste things in here without them getting all jumbled. But this one's now a blank one, or a default one. Let's see, those weird spawn times like 34 seconds and 1 minute 23 seconds can be rounded up / down, but I'm pretty sure I tested it multiple times and they were like that. I'll take it. I mean, like, I think that they did do that, because what they did was they slowly slowly honed in on it, on what they wanted. They like iterated, and if that's the time that they set, then that's perfect. I can see that like sprint will change how, you know, how that balances out, because you can sprint to the tank a little bit faster or whatever once it spawns in, and because the you know, tanks themselves might be faster now and everything like that. So there may be some differences in balance there, but it's not going to be extreme. And on my version, I'm going to rebalance them anyway. On my glow up version, I'm going to rebalance them anyway. That's the intact one. This is 12, 13, 14. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. I will never get over how much I love ODST music. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Let's see. Also, what I did back then with those guides was to only document the times for power weapons and vehicles. So that's not a full list. I think there was another guide. I'll try to find it. Okay, sounds good. that would definitely be helpful. Doesn't really matter which order I do these or if they're all disorganized, as long as, you know, they all work. But, and I just realized I think I skipped, this is, oh, that is 4, never mind, yeah. Nope, I was doing it right. Thought I skipped 1, because I'd copied off number 3 to make this one, so I was replacing 3 with 5, and I was like, that's not right. The dust clouds were number 3. Because the original dust clouds are 3, actually. Yeah. Control C, click up here and Control V so it appears up here. And I can bring it down into position. So I'm kind of counting up as I go up, which is kind of weird, but yeah, let's see. Okay, so now we need to go find, so that means we've gotten 3 of the stalactites in here, but the thing about it is that we actually have 1 of them in, or 2 of them in the original brain. So we're starting with number, so we did that one and that one in the original brain, so we started with number 3, and then we got 4, and then we got 5. That's what it was about those other brains. So now we're coming over here. I believe I started here. Let's see, what are these dust clouds? They are number 6. So yeah, that would be 5 over there. And then at number 6 would be this one. Okay. So if I do want to keep them organized, I just start here. And then see, that was 5, and this is 5. This is my copy. Add object references. Get them away from each other so they don't throw themselves across the, you know, script grid, whatever they call it. Stalactite, drifts, and hanging. There we go. And then the rest is just in order. In 15. 16 and 17. Just make them look, just line them up a little bit and delete the old ones. I was thinking that there would be like some kind of wiki that I'd have to go find that would have like all these spawn timers, and I was like, I bet there's something like that out there, like what you created. But I have no idea where it would be. I was just thinking maybe there'd be a wiki page or something like that that just includes all that info. And I was like, surely one of these days I'll run out there and fix it all up. And it only just occurred to me that I never got around to doing that. Let's see. I just had one of those moments where it hit me out of the blue that I am scripting a Halo map. That like there's like if me from my childhood knew what I was doing right now, think it was what it would, you know, I would think it was the coolest thing ever from back then. Like, just straight up, this would be amazing to me back then. I said childhood, I was 20 whenever Halo Reach came out, so technically, you know, that's an adult. But, and I was trying to do Forge then. But, I mean, just making maps for, I was trying to make, let's see, hanging drifts and intact. There it is, underneath my other window thing there. I was trying to make, back with the Halo Custom Edition on PC, I learned how to 3D model just to make a map for that, originally. Like, the only reason I know how to use Blender now is because I learned how to use Gmax back then, and I was trying to make a map that I could then export into. I was gonna make it in Gmax, and then at the time 3ds Max could open Gmax files, and I don't even think they can anymore. Basically I was going to make it in Gmax, then get a 30-day trial for 3ds Max, transfer it over, and then save it off to put it into Halo Custom Edition. And I never actually finished that map because I did not know how to make a 3D model, and I got into all of the tutorials on how to use it, and I made like a robot and a cannon and all this kind of stuff, and I ended up getting very distracted by that. And then by the end of it, I was like, yeah, Gmax is actually not good. I was like, I don't know if I can actually do this. So, and then I started with my little sister. I was going to start making a video game with her. And then, so we were making 3D models in Gmax, and we were like, yeah, if we make it in Gmax and we make our game work with that, then anyone can make 3D models for mods for it in the future, and that'd be so cool. We thought that would be such an awesome feature of our game. We never actually finished it, of course, because whenever you're, I was like 15 at the time. Whenever you're 15 and only just learning the tools, you don't tend to finish a game. I don't think anyone did. I mean, sometimes you do, but they're like really basic. Usually you don't sell them. My sister was going to do the programming, and I was going to do the art at the time. But then I was like, eventually it was like, okay, I got to learn the programming. Because it's waiting on my sister, and I have an older, brother as well. That I was like, yeah, that works. I mean, he can be in it too, but that thing popping up is making it very hard to read these. Okay, I think this is the right one, right? 8. We're on 8. Yeah, this will be the 5 plus 3. So yeah, 8. I don't have to even go looking. Okay, here we go. But yeah, it was crazy to try and think that we were gonna make an MMO of all things. An MMO with that was designed so that, unlike World of Warcraft, which was what we were comparing ourselves to at the time, it was going to be built entirely off of player. Oh boy, are we out of? Looks like we're out of nodes. Shit. I didn't save any of that. Did it just crash? Oh, damn. You've lost connection to the game server. I really hope it just saved it. This is one of those cases where I actually hope it did save a backup, because I don't think I saved any of that. Literally not even making the second script brain. Internet's still up, from what I can tell. Oh shit, no. You guys might be disconnected too. Whew. It's acting like I'm still up. So I'm still getting hundreds of megabits per second. According to this. I have no idea if you're seeing this. The update just came out. That's what happened. Oh. So I am getting this, like, on my modem, the downstream light. I don't think it normally blinks like that. So I thought it was an internet problem. But yeah. I forgot it's Tuesday, isn't it? No, it's Wednesday. Why is there an update today? It's not Tuesday. Don't they usually do their updates on Tuesdays? Is this the one that, like, is supposed to fix sniper rifle timing and stuff like that? Let's see. Some ranked changes. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it was like a gigabyte for ranked and some bug fixes. It's not gigabyte. But yeah, some bug fixes. Okay. That's the thing, like tune the sniper rifle and all that kind of stuff, and I just read your GB as gigabyte, so let's see. It's game balance, right? Let's see, or general balance. Let's see. Yeah, so I think it should just go right back into it, right? Because they probably just rebooted the server to the new live. Okay, it says latest version is here, so it might have saved off a backup. Hopefully I didn't just lose all of that. Oh, he was replying to it through my sharing it. Okay, I was like, on Twitter I was for some reason tagged in something that I was like, why am I tagged in this? And I realized I shared it and then someone was replying to it through me sharing it. That's cool. This is a really cool map someone made. I'm going to post it to the Discord real quick, actually. And so you guys can see why. It's going to be kind of weird that out of the blue I'm going to just post this and then you're going to see it like 2 seconds later why I posted it. But this thing is really awesome. I'm really impressed. Okay. Okay, let's see. Where's the stream on my tab? Okay, here we go. Stream tab. Okay, here we go. We're back in. Let's get this checked out. Okay. So we were on this side, I believe. Yeah. Now hopefully the brain. We do have our second brain. Let's see. And it still has everything. Good deal. Let's see. 18, 19, 20. 18, 19, 20. So we need to go back and find, oh, which one is it? We did 7, so we're on number 8. 7. So number 8 is where we were. And we were about to make our references. I heard that they're still looking at how they're going to balance the mangler. Has there been any news on that? Does anybody know how they're doing that? Because the way they balanced it before, I actually kind of liked its like one-shot melee thing it had before. With it doing extra melee damage was kind of cool. I don't mind the way it is now. Like, it's still a useful, powerful weapon, but it's not a weapon I go out of my way to go grab. I know what most people feel like is that it should just be more of a, you know, a mid-tier weapon instead of put onto the same racks as like the pistol and the but like the sidekick is also a very powerful weapon. Like in a skilled player's hands, the sidekick is more of, you know, a mainline superhero than an actual sidekick, you know what I mean? I've seen people put the rocket launcher away so they could pull out their sidekick. You know what I mean? And whenever you got a power weapon on your back just so you can kill someone with a pistol, that means that pistol's good. So having a mangler pistol is fine. I think it's that the disruptor is too weak or useless. Like it needs its effectiveness in it, like its usefulness is limited to like big team battle, but then in big team battle the maps are so big that its range is no good anymore. Like it's just not useful. Well, not about range, it's like, I don't know, it's accuracy, something. It's not very useful at distance, or something to that effect. I don't know. I just feel like I think I could probably give a much better take on this if it was a primary thing I was talking about instead of talking about it while forging. But you know what I mean. I think you guys probably have an idea of what I'm talking about. That it's like you have a the sidekick is just like is great. So if the mangler is as good as it used to be, it was like a. I guess the problem was that it kind of outshone the shotgun in close range. Yeah, we're gonna do 9 next. The bulldog, but it won't outshine the classic pump shotgun whenever they eventually put that in. So, which we know it's coming eventually, right? Not like really know, but we know they're not going to have a Halo without the pump action shotgun eventually, as like a, you know, confidence thing. Where's my yeah, this is intact. Okay. The number on it is getting so high I can't even tell which one that it's not the one of the others now. The funny thing about the intact stalactite is that I made the first one, I named it, but I had already created a copy of it, so the second one I had to name as well. So I named the second one and added the 1, thinking that now the system's going to recognize that there's that 1 added on, and it'll go, okay, cool, the next one is going to be a 2. But then it made a 1 space 1. So it's not quite as smart as Blender, where Blender would be like, yeah, you put the ending on it yourself. We recognize that it's there, though, and we're going to go off of that, where yours left off. In this, it's kind of like, it does its own thing. It puts that number on itself, and if you don't, you know, it doesn't care that you tried to do it yourself. So, now they're all intact stalactite 1 space 7 and stuff like that. So it's a little silly, but I don't feel like going around and changing their names right now. There was a point in the development of the map where I wasn't trying to get to the point where I could build out the bots and make the copy, you know, as soon as possible, and during that time I would have totally done this. If I didn't have to take like a month off in the middle of it, of everything, of making the map, then I would have probably, you know, been done by now, actually, but I definitely would have been able to do this. Now here's the one problem, and maybe I should have done like a number variable somewhere and just set it to all of these, so I could just, now if I ever want to tune this, I have to go in and change it for every single one of these, and the 2 that are in the other script brain. Oh shit. I ran out of nodes again. This is what I was seeing before. These lines going up to this corner. I don't even know why. It looks like this one is missing, but all the rest are there. Wait a minute. Let's see if I can just delete. Oh, it's there. What the hell happened there? This is pretty infuriating. I'm gonna have to manually select each of these because they're on top of others. I have not seen this issue before. I think that's everything. Yeah. And it just goes in here. Okay, let's save it. Okay, now this one apparently did exist, or it created it afterward because there was another empty slot. Here's the funny thing. I actually have an extra one right here I can get rid of. So I could theoretically go, boom, and I have my whole thing. Now the only problem is now that I have to delete the, let's see. I have to delete these before I can go grab my references. Which, did I already select them? No, I think it's this one. 10. Yes, there we go. Right? I wasn't on 9, was I? Let's see. This one was 9, so yeah, this one's 10. Okay, cool. So now I just make my references, and I should be exactly maxed out on this script brain. Which means I cannot add any stalactites to the map. Memory is still, simulation memory is still at 96%, so that's good. Because I was getting really close before. Like I said before, it was at 99%. And I was like, at the beginning of the stream, I was explaining. I don't even know if anybody was watching yet whenever I was explaining that, because the thing didn't tell me that there was anyone in. But the point is that, yeah, it was like, whenever I was doing it yesterday, I had gotten to a point where the I had put the individual script brains that I had before, where I had it to where the one stalactite that was like really fully finished coding, finished being coded, was done, and it was working great. It had its own, you know, what do you call it? Its own little, you know, script brain. And then I went ahead and put that, I tried to copy that one over and put it on all of the others, and I finished half of the stalactites, and I was at 99% memory consumption. I was like, okay, these brains are taking up too much space, and that is why we're doing it this way. That's why the stalactites code looks very different today, for anyone who's joining in late. It looks very different today because yesterday I had to turn it into 2 script brains for all of them that just handled all of the stalactites. So that's what I've got. I got these 2 right here. Now that we're done, well, let me test it first. Make sure all of them break and fall, because I got references in the right places and everything. Okay, we need to get all the way over here to get to that Banshee, because I want to shoot down with the Banshee. It makes it the easiest. Oh man, that's great. That's a really good spot for those. Thanks, Bungie, for choosing that as its location. It's a good spot. Okay, let's see. I will have a lot more game objects and a lot better simulation memory as well from the. See, let's make sure they all moved into position. This one's moved into the right position. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. Because that was something I was having trouble with, where they were hitting things like the vines and stuff. That one's good. I also had to change how they were doing it, because they, that one's good, that one's good, that one's good. Because with one script, I couldn't make it to where each of them moved in a different direction, you know? That one's good, and that one's good. So let's see it animate. Okay, for some reason there's puff clouds like all the time, and I don't know what's going on with that, because I definitely delete them. Okay, that one falls. And that one falls. And that one falls. That one falls. That one works. That one works. Whoa, this one works too. Okay, that one's thing is referencing both of them. Now I know. And that one falls. So this one right here, it's intact stalactite 1-1. I need to go to that one, which should be the third one. No, this one? 1-1. I'm confused. Okay. For some reason. Oh, wait, no. 1, 2, 1, 3. Okay, so it goes no number, then 1, then 1, 1. So this is technically the third one, and it is connecting to the third one. So that means it's the other script brain. In the other script brain, it's confused. Maybe. So when stalactite 1 shot. Okay, no. No, this doesn't make any sense. Why did it break the other one? 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't understand that. Okay. Let's see if it does that again. Much closer to the Banshee this time. Let's observe this one more time. And see what happens. See, I think it was on the other side, right? Yeah, it was on the side of the vines. Okay, so if I shoot down this one, they both broke. Did I just accidentally hit that one in the distance? One of my blasts must have gone past and hit it. And since it only takes one shot, I think I must have been doing like that. One of my shots went past and hit it because it's working fine now. Oh, this one didn't slide over. What the heck? Okay, well, we gotta fix that. Something about this one didn't move over. It's definitely included in the list. It's the standard intact stalactite. Where is that one? I think it's these. Yeah, it should be moving over. So then it must be hitting something. Must be some physics thing going on. Or something. Let's see. Yeah, it's moving in the correct direction. Another possibility is 98 plus 23. Yeah, okay, maybe it just didn't move over enough because it moves over 23. I think that this one got messed up. But I don't know. It was pretty far over. I don't know if I don't think there's any other dynamic object over here. Let's see. Can the spikes kill players? Yes. Yes, they can. They just simply fall, and they're on physics. And so they just hit you and kill you. Yeah, this one's not moving over. I don't understand why. Here, I can show you. Because... here. Go to this one, because it's not as... No, not that. Whoops. No. Ah, I pressed the wrong button. I'm trying to get out of the Banshee, and I pressed the back button, because I was like, I'm flying. That means I'm in monitor mode, right? Duh. Okay. So this one's in the correct spot. If you look straight up, and we shoot it. Most people are not going to realize it only takes one shot to kill these, and they're going to shoot it a whole bunch anyway. It also destroys vehicles. Let's see. Oop. I'm sure I can get up there if I did that differently, but let's see. I'm going to put this wraith under there. It drops right about here. And then I'll jump in it after I shoot the thing down before it hits the ground. Oh, whoops. Let's get back up, back up, back up. Here we go. Oh, well, it didn't destroy this one. Shit. Wonder if that's because of the distance? That was bad. If you can get the map to a playtest state by Friday, we can test it with a full lobby on one Discord. I agree. That'd be great. That was a little weird. It just sort of like bounced right off the vehicle. Did I test it before by not being in the vehicle? I swear it killed my Banshee or something while I was under it. No, it bounced off my Banshee. Oh boy. Oh guys, vehicles are immune to these things. All this time, I thought I was good. I'd have to put a script brain down here, or not a script brain, like a little trigger volume, a little trigger area thing, and say that whenever this thing enters any of them, put a whole bunch of them, area monitors. That's the word. And if one of these enters it, then and put it like right beneath here, like right in this spot. And if one of those enters that little area monitor, then kill all vehicles in the area, like blow them up, and make the area be like pinpoint underneath the, like right underneath it. That's a whole other thing. Did these fall over because this isn't good? I could have sworn that it did destroy them. Was it a ghost that I got to be destroyed? Maybe the tank is immune? But this is, news to me. Let's see. Let me try a ghost. The little blockers up there aren't working. Let's see. Gosh, yeah, the angle's not good. I'm going to get over here and... Ah, missed. Damn. Well, I know where this one falls. I'll do this one. I was trying to see if this one was too high. It was too low to the ground and maybe didn't pick up enough speed before the physics engine would just break it. Let's see. No, that one didn't either. Did it do damage at least? Or is it just shoving it out the way? Huh. I don't see any fire or anything, so if it did damage, it was minimal. That's not right. Let's see, make an area monitor follow the falling spike and on object entering area damage 1000. That might work. The problem is that, like, when do I turn it off? I've got to time it just right. I'd have to follow it for a specific number of seconds, and then I'd have to make one for each and every one of these because they're different heights, so I'd have to time them differently. Otherwise, it would be like, it'll hit and it'll fall over, and then it'll kill anyone who walks near it, which is really complicated stuff, but definitely needs to destroy vehicles. Like, kind of the entire point of these is that they, like, how likely are you going to hit a person with this? But I guess the other point to it is that it creates cover, and in Infinite it's going to stay there forever. In Halo 2, I think only 1 or 2 pieces stayed there, even though broken to like 5 or 6 pieces, because obviously they couldn't handle that kind of memory, that many dynamic objects. But these will stay there as cover for the rest of the match, so there's that. But yeah, I also don't know why this one specifically is just not moving over. I haven't checked it since the let's see. Yes, that one's fine. Let's get in the flying vehicle, get over there really fast. Hello, Mr. Woodforge. Yes, I would forge if you give me the chance. Oh good, it moved over. So I just had to adjust it over a little bit. It's probably stuck in the ceiling. I'm still not sure why the dust clouds aren't being deleted at spawn. They're all just kind of lingering. Maybe Clen, you're here. Maybe you can help me figure this out on that little question mark. I think it might be better though for the damage, instead of having it follow the spikes like you were saying. I think that maybe putting him down there and then just saying when it enters, do damage to everybody in there, and then never have to worry about it again, you know, and only allow that to happen one time. But then I could do one script brain that handle all of them. Whereas if I make something follow it down, I need to make it. Actually, you know what? I can make these area monitors themselves, and I can say that whenever, yeah, because I had them as area monitors for a minute. I was using them instead of the Oh, they lost their settings apparently. Instead of this one being an area monitor, I was using this one. But yeah, anyway, Clint, you're here. Let me show you. Let me show you what I've got going on. So if you recall, I had the stalactite script brain that worked for each individual stalactite, but the problem was that the simulation memory went to 99% and I only had finished half of them. So 3% of simulation memory on 5 of the stalactites. So I had to not make so many script brains, so I brought it down to 2 script brains using this monstrosity. I delete every single object. This is, believe it or not, fewer nodes than I would have been if I just did this with like group clusters of things with object lists and combining them. What I did was I set the intact stalactites to area monitors and pulled the objects in the area monitors and then combined them. So there's only 3 instead of 5. So that reduced the number of nodes, and that made that work out pretty well, although for some reason it's not deleting the dust clouds, and that's something weird. I don't know why it's not adding them to the list and then deleting them. But anyway, I had to combine them on game start, trigger, despawn at start, and then there's shift stalactites, that's the intact ones that you shoot down, that you actually shoot at. That shifts them over into position. So despawn at start comes down here. Here. Despawn at start, and all it does is for each object delete the object. So it pulls everything in those area monitors, including the dust clouds, it should be, but for some reason it's not deleting them. And then shift stalactites for each object, get object position, and shift it over. This was a number that was very exact for the original ones, and now is like, it doesn't need to be exact anymore. So it doesn't even need to be like that. But anyway, subtract vector 3, and then translate object to point to get the new point. And then after that's done, we have our event that on damage, like whenever you shoot the intact one, if it's a player, I just destroy it. I just drop dust first off. I spawn the dust in, which doesn't even matter because they're not despawning in the first place. Wait for 1 second, and then I break the stalactite by and send it this object list. So that was allowing me to make fewer object references because I could just do 1 for each of the objects in this one nice little area. Send stalactite break is this one. Wait for 1 second to allow the dust to start falling. Delete the object, which was, the object is the intact stalactite right there. And then I'm also sending an object list. I'm grabbing that object list, and for each of the objects there, I am spawning it. And then after that, I clear the dust. So, this is drop dust. Let's go to that first. I did drop dust before that, so that during that 1 second wait, the dust can spawn. And all that is for each object spawn the object. And that happens when I drop dust. And then this one is clear dust. So after I've waited 1 second, I then go into this where I wait 3 seconds. Not gonna lie, that you lost me there. Yeah, sorry about that. So the point is that where the problem would have to be would be here, and for some reason, like it's grabbing everything that's inside the around the intact stalactites. Let me see. Okay, let me show you the intact stalactite. This is the area monitor for the intact stalactite. It should be grabbing everything inside of here that's dynamic, including the dust, right? Physics phased. Yeah, but it's still a dynamic object though, right? Because you can reference them. But for some reason, it's not selecting this object inside of the area monitor, so it's not deleting it. So if I had the ability to have more objects, I could theoretically grab them and directly reference them and add them to the list as well, just to make sure they all delete, but no. Big uppercase no. What did I do wrong? FX don't get caught. Oh! Okay. So I might have to just... see, in the area monitor, yeah. I'm thinking then about not having the lingering dust and the falling dust. What do y'all think? I mean, it kind of gives a good simulation, but if I just bring it just to the falling dust, then I could reference all of them and not run out of nodes. I had the same problem and cried for hours. I had to reference it by hand. That's disappointing. So if I, at the very top of this, add in, all of them by hand using this method, then I could theoretically doing the math, there are four objects, the stalactites, that drop, as you can see here. These 4 objects plus 2 FX, you know, plus a 2 object lists. Well, actually, I can use one of these for, so 1.5. So 4, 5, 6, 7.5 per. So 7.5 per stalactite, and this is 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's still cheaper. It's still cheaper to do it this way. Okay. Never mind. Yeah. By the way, okay. I had to reference it by hand. By the way, FX and decals are not caught by the area monitor. Okay, so decals as well. That's disappointing. So it's the objects that you can't set to, the ones that you don't, that are always considered dynamic, that you can't set to dynamic, but are basically always considered dynamic, can't be selected. I wonder if there's anything else that also falls into that. I mean, it grabs vehicles and weapons, I'm sure, and those are default set to dynamic, so maybe that's not a good rule of thumb to go off of. But yeah. So what do you think? I guess I've got to reference them. Should I delete the hanging one to try and do that? Because the problem here is I'm pretty sure I'm almost out of nodes in this one. And I know I'm literally to the node in the second brain, which is just a whole bunch of this thing. This is per stalactite, I need one of these. And because it's got the objects that need to be deleted and spawned, referenced correctly. Pretty sure you can set decals to not dynamic. Oh, okay. Well then, yeah. No, never mind then. Don't even worry about that. I was just trying to puzzle out why that was happening. But so I have to have one of each of these, and it just calls the other, you know, events, and that reduces the number of nodes by like down to like 1/3 by only having to copy them one time. 1/3 per one of these. Like it was like 3 times larger than this before. And that would have been ridiculous to try and put into brains. This looks ridiculous over here, this one, but it's actually less ridiculous per number of nodes, because they're just all in one place instead of being spread out to all of the individual sections. But yeah. I don't know what to do there. I mean, one possibility is I just put some strings that are just dangling off, doing really annoying stuff like a marionette. And in here, I just go, yeah, delete these objects and these objects and these objects and these objects and stretch them out up here. And then I copy this code to the other one. Maybe add one of these from the other one into here so that I have the nodes to do this. Copy this most important stuff over to the other one. And then do the same thing, these annoying strings going up. And they'll just cross over everything. And technically, that would be cleaner, I think. And probably take up less. Well, it would take less nodes. Wouldn't be cleaner, but it would take less. It'd take fewer nodes. It would look hideous. It's okay. I don't think anyone else is going to use this code. It's just going to be mine, so I can make it look hideous. You guys will know. No one else. Unless they go into the map or something to edit it. And then they go, what the hell is this? Okay, so instead of area monitors, I can just drag up and reference them, because I have them referenced here. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what we're going to do now. The hideous code. I think that's the best bet. Because honestly, I'm just thinking in number, like purely in number of nodes consumed at this point, because I want to use the fewest number of script brains, because I'm really close to the end of the, you know, to the end of my budget. So this is gonna be avert your eyes, Glenn. Avert your eyes. This is gonna be hideous. All right, so we've got some marionette strings here. We can now go ahead and delete these, and that may be enough nodes to copy one of these from the other one over here, and then we'll be referencing its too, so I can actually delete these as well. And these will just be deleted here, or will be moved over here, but we don't need to delete them here. We can delete them, or we don't need to worry about moving them to the other one, for example. I might have to put a wait here, like a wait 0.5 seconds, and that would definitely help prevent the, like I'm worried that that they won't have been deleted until too late. So I'm going to add a wait node here, even if I don't need it. Just because, yeah. I mean, sure, you're supposed to debug whenever you find the bugs. Hate that. You just got to drag it a tiny bit like that. Just do a little wiggle, and it'll lock into the position. But yeah, let's go ahead and change this to... We'll just do 0.5 seconds. That should be long enough for it to delete everything. All of the bits. Oh, whoops. That's not... Oh, jeez. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, well, we'll just drag this over to here. Thought I had box selected everything. There we go. That should work, just like that. Okay. Now I've got these hideous marionette strings. Now, let's go ahead and grab one of these straight out of here and move it over. And I suppose we'll go with this one because it's the next one in the line. Just Control C. And click up here. Good. It didn't get all mangled. We'll just set this into this gap here. And then take our object list and our object list. There we go. This will make sure that our special effects delete. And we will delete... Oh, wait. Oh, we don't need this one either. Okay. Delete that. Special effects to here. There we go. There's our hideous marionette string code. Then we're going to copy this one. Clear the node, or clear the selection, go to this one. And we have to delete this to make room, to make node space, to place this in. And this is going to go up at the top. Now, we have this organized. Oh, no, I can't just select half of it. I have to select the whole thing. What the heck? Okay, apparently I'm so zoomed out that, like, yeah. We have this organized so that it's counting up as we go down, as we go up, which is a little weird. Let's reverse this order, because it's counting up as it goes this way, but it's counting to the right and up, which is just really weird. We're just going to move this stuff around a little bit to go below here, thusly. And then we can do this, and because I do want some semblance of organization, and it will be only a semblance unless I do this, in which case it will have marionette strings, but it will be somewhat actually organized. So let's do that. I hate to look at messy code, but I make it all the time. Yeah. Let's put this down here, and then that way I can put this into the empty gap right here. Just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, like that, correctly. And we can bring this down a bit. That way, we know it's a little bit more organized. You can see what's going on. We might need to add some more of these combined object list nodes. I'm going to put that into the top one. So we're going to start from the bottom up. I know it's really hard to see exactly what's... You can't read any of this. I know no one's going to be able to read any of this while I'm at this zoom level. But at least I can just barely see enough to connect these strings, you know? These little tiny threads. Did you say something? Pretty sure you can set... Oh, okay. Pretty sure you can set decals to not dynamic was the thing that you said last. So there you go. Okay, we're cooking with gas now, as they say. Combine object lists. We need to add a bunch of those, and we can't copy. I've been copying and pasting all the time. I have no idea if that bug has been fixed or not, but I've been using Control-C, Control-V, and not having any trouble with it. Is that, does anybody know if that bug has been fixed? This bug is still here for sure. It's just going to put it all the way out there every single time. Okay. You can move in the script even while dragging a node. Oh yeah, where you can drag it. Yeah, you can be... Yeah, that's true. Let's see. That is very true. Let's go ahead and put that there. Just gonna make a big ol' crazy conga line of combine object lists. They really need to make something like a node that's just like super list or something like that, that has like 8 connection points and can combine all of those into one list. So you don't have to do this nonsense here. It's kind of annoying. So I can move around while doing it, but I've got enough precision to I don't play first-person shooters with a mouse and keyboard, but mouse has accuracy, you know? I usually play with controller, but I do have the accuracy necessary to pinpoint these little tiny connection points. Let's see, we're almost done here. Let's see. Just one more here. Oh, there we go. There, I did it. Dragged. But let's see. Here we go. Create another one. Create another one. That's for this next one. And then we need one more pair of them. No, we need one more of them, because the last one only needs one. Okay. And the very last one has 2 nodes to grab that last one of them here. So this feels really insane and dumb, but whatever needs to be done to get it working, right? Sometimes you just gotta ship it. And this is how you get buggy day one games. Except they're not just scripting one thing. With Stalactites, they're scripting like the physics engine, and it cascades into problems all across the entire game. So, okay, this is missing. For some reason, it's not shortening. That's weird. Can I select every single one of these and move them at once? Wow, there's no no selection limit for nodes like there is objects in the game. Okay, well we're gonna drag all the way back down here to try and make this thing sort of shrink. So whenever I go into it, it's not so crazy. Okay, I have a feeling that I gotta go up. Alright, that's about as small as it's going to get, I think. Now the marionette strings are everywhere. Let's never look at it again. And bury our shame. Now let's test it, see if it works. Okay. Okay, they all shifted over. Good. Took half a second, which is fine because we're going to be... I did some intro camera nonsense to hide the hide some other issues. So, with the start of the match, involving the shroud in the middle, where it kind of... I never could get that thing to stop happening, Clint. There was one thing... whoop. Wow, you could do this from inside the base. This one you can shoot down from inside the base and like kill everyone back there. I mean, on the flip side, you will like all of these chunks will fly everywhere, so it's almost like a shotgun blast of death for, you know, individuals, even if it doesn't kill vehicles. But yeah, I heard from I don't know who that the engine limited input and output edges to be max 4 for any nodes. Input and output edges. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. It still could just be one that has 4. Just one that's like a super group or something like that. That would just group up all of the things. I wouldn't name it super group. That's a terrible name for it. But you know what I mean. I was going to show you, what was it I was going to do? Oh yeah, the shroud in the right as you spawn. Still does this thing. I don't know if you have a solution, but I did kind of come up with a solution, so we don't have to. But it comes down, but only half parts of it spawn in, and then it raises back up. And then from then on, it comes down just fine. Sometimes there's a bit of a stutter, but I think that has to do with the network connection and not the actual script. But yeah, it just works great. It makes the noise. I have the volume really, really low. But it because of this, when you're editing mode, you can hear it. But yeah, so what I was gonna show you was that oh, it's locked. Look at that. Why is it locked? Did I actually lock it? Oh yeah, I've got a lot locked. Okay. I guess that was because I wanted to be able to collapse the these folders without causing a problem. So if anybody wants that, that's what you got to do. New lights, where is the pump shroud? There it is. Okay, we are going to expand gameplay back up so I don't, because that one's not locked. I don't want that to bug out on me. Let's see. Close crates, close cameras, close fusion coils. Let's see. Nav cutter bots. Oh wait, these are locked. I just didn't have the nav cutter bots locked. Okay, we can close all this. Okay, I'm about to show you the brain as soon as I can unlock it. Okay, pump shroud, unlock it. Get out. Okay. Well, why is this not part of the pump shroud? Must be part of the central base. Okay. Central structure body. Here we go. Unlock that one. No. Why? What is this clustered into? What happened here? Is it an FX and SFX? Gotta expand that one now. No. I did not put this into something that makes sense. I must have accidentally selected it and put it in somewhere. Maybe cave... No, cave roof isn't even locked. Okay, I guess I just have to unlock everything until I find it. Plant life is not locked, but I have it... Okay, I know it's not in plant life, because that wasn't locked. Okay. Actually, wait. No, there's no... I can't just select it and then scroll through and find what I have selected. Jeez. Okay, Glenn, this is going to take a second. Let's see if this has... No, it wasn't in any of those. Maybe central... No, that one's not locked. Central structure struts. Maybe it's in one of those since it's right next to the strut. Nope. Base blue. Base red. Let's just go up from the bottom. That way I can expand them as it happens, and I need to actually expand that one. Not in any of those. It's probably up in like nav cutter or something. Like up here somewhere. Let's do from the bottom. Wherever it is, I need to move it immediately, because this isn't... Oh, I've got a script folder? I made a script folder? I don't remember making that. Okay, that makes sense. That was all dumb. Okay, apparently I made that. I can relock the camera and re-expand the bots and then just unlock scripts. I need to expand it. Okay. Sorry about that. Here we go. Now, what I did was, the only thing I could think to do at the time was on game start, you know, you've got everything happening. I made it wait. I set this back down to 0 because it didn't fix it. But I just tried to make it wait at the beginning to allow all of the game objects to spawn in. I also thought about, where is it? Right. What I did was I executed per object. Wait, why am I not doing it up here on completion? Okay, that might be the problem. This might solve it. Why was I doing it per object? So basically, if I check for... Oh, because you do have to feed an object into this, don't you? For check for deletion? Where is it? Where is it? Check for deletion? Here, check for despawn. Right here. Yeah, you feed an object into it, right? Yeah. And it takes that object, it deletes it, and then it spawns it. And then it moves to the next one. Right. Okay. So that's why I did that. Okay. So I have the current object, basically, I delete it and respawn it. And that was an attempt to solve this little issue. Where it does that, like, popping thing. Because I figured that if I delete it and respawn it, it would like, you know, connect it across all the network, like you were saying. It clears the, you know, it syncs everything. But, let's see, was I supposed to put a number in there? No, I didn't think so. So anyway, the point is that I was thinking that if I did that, it would help fix it, but it didn't solve it. So, I don't know, maybe because it hasn't fully spawned in yet anyway, because it's a dynamic object. I don't know. Anyway, I kind of got around it by just having the cameras not show that at the spawn. The start cameras are all like, you know, panning across, looking down like this. Actually, I think they're on the other side. And then panning across the base. And then they eventually kind of like come out and show the pump shroud right around whenever it would be falling. Or at least that's the hope, is that the timing is just right, these two. It goes shoom, and then it goes, and it'll go doom right at the very beginning of the match. And hopefully that works. But anyway, I just thought maybe if you showed it to you, you'd right off the bat immediately know how to fix it. But I realized that the thing I did might be what you were going to suggest anyway. But let me know if I'm wrong. Let's see. I'm going to relock some of these. I don't know if I need to be relocking the cave roof because I didn't have it locked before. I will be moving some stuff into cave walls in my second version because it'll make things simpler. But for now, I don't need that. See, water well can be locked, future plans can be locked, ground terrain can be locked. Let's see, the pump shroud itself that moves up and down can definitely be locked because apparently I don't even need to go into it to edit anything. Stalactites still needs to be open because I'm currently working on that. Okay, we're good. Sorry, that was just an aside. I was trying to see if you could help me out, Glenn, with that one, because if there's a way you could solve that, then we could. But for now, it's just like while it's getting ready, I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, but anyway, the dust should now clear whenever I build it out. Dust should stop falling constantly, and the stalactites should still function. So let's go shoot them down again and see how that works. And if it works, then we're done with stalactites and we're doing Nav-mesh next. I just have to copy out the map so I don't create any dirty data. Boom. Perfect. Most people are going to do this and shoot it until it falls. They're going to be like, yeah, take them down, and they're not even going to realize that's one shot. You guys are going to know, and it will be your burden to bear, along with me, that every time you're in this map, you're going to know you only have to shoot it once with a pistol and it'll fall. But most people are going to shoot it for that full second and be like, yeah, okay, how much damage does it take to take this thing down? And then they're eventually going to make it fall, and they're going to be like, yes! So, yeah. Just some player psychology. And then with the cooldown on the firing of the tank, they're going to be like, they're going to hit it, and then it's going to cool down, and just before they fire off their second blast, it's going to start falling. So, because it's about a second cooldown. So, same thing. They're going to fire it, be like, oh man, it's not falling yet. Do I need to shoot it again? And it'll start falling. It is in the original that it requires one shot to break. No, is it in the original? It is not. And that's here's the thing though. I'll explain it again because I have explained this before, but it's a thing. To make it take more to make it now it's even worse because of the way I had to solve other problems. But the way to solve it would have to be whenever I go here, stalactite break, in this script here, I would have to check to see what kind of weapon you're firing with. And they don't have it like, is it a power weapon or not a power weapon? They have it set to where you have to check for each and every single weapon. So I would have to make the script check for every single weapon and then make it deal damage accordingly so that the damage can apply correctly. Or I can organize them into groups and say, if it's a power weapon, and then make my own list of power weapons with scripting and just say, if it's any of these weapons, make it break immediately. If it's any of these lesser weapons, make it break after 2 or 3 shots. And that would be fine. But I used to have like a health bar, basically, a script for like having setting a variable to 100, dealing damage to that variable by reducing it whenever it takes whenever it gets shot, and all that kind of stuff. But now I'm like, if I do that, it actually would have to be up here because it's on object damaged. I'd have to take that damage amount, which is going to be 0 because it's an object that doesn't actually have health. Another workaround, actually, and I might lose you here because of this, because it's an aside, but another workaround to this would be to put an object that can take damage in there somehow and make it to where whenever that gets hit, but those are like bookshelves and stuff like that, so it look really weird. Just make some variable that counts up to X damage amount. Yes, but the problem is the damage, and that's what I was just about to explain, and I think you were typing that while I was saying it, but the delay is happening. The damage amount is 0 unless the object is a destructible object. So if it's a vehicle, or if it's like a bookshelf, or like a whatever, or a pot for a potted plant, then I could theoretically have that track damage. Fusion coil can take damage, a player can take damage, but because this is an object that is just set to dynamic, when it takes damage, it triggers, it knows it's taking damage, but all damage that is applied to it is reduced to 0. And so all you get is 0.0 out of this little output, unless you put in something, like I said, like a potted plant would probably be the closest thing to the rock. I'd have to like put a potted plant in there somehow. I don't even think you can scale them because they're dynamic, so I'd have to put like several potted plants in there from all sides so that you can shoot it from different angles and then like track the damage that way. And that's just ridiculous. That's the closest thing to looking like a rock, so, but it would still be like this brown bulb coming out. But they don't have a rock that takes damage, unfortunately. So basically, yeah, so what I'd have to do is say, okay, well, I'm taking damage. Now I need to find out. I can actually say player get is a player, and then I could say, okay, cool. Now I can say, okay, so the attacking object is a player. Also, check to see what weapon they have, and I could say, well, if it's a, if it's one of these weapons, pass it through as a tier 1, pass these through as a tier 2, and pass these, and if it's a vehicle, pass it through as a vehicle, and then maybe as a tier 1 with the power weapons or something like that, and then tier 1 would all just break it immediately. But then as soon as I switch to like I have the lesser weapons, then because also I'd have to think about banshee bombs versus the fully automatic. So I can't just say, okay, well, banshees deal less damage than tanks, so banshees are going to have to do are going to take more than one shot, right? Well, but then I have banshee bombs. If I do the same thing with wasps have their missiles, and all told, the way that I could do that, but then the script brain would be enormous because I can't even test it. Like I was just saying, I can't even test it at this level. I mean, I can't test it at this level here. I can't say, well, how much damage is the player is the object taking here, because I didn't give the damage. I could theoretically pass the damage amount through as a number, but like I can't pass the player through. That's the problem, actually. It's not the damage amount. It's the player. I'd have to be able to pass the player, the attacking object, through, which, as you can see, I kind of already have to pass through an object, and that's the stalactite, because I need to be able to delete that. But basically, I could theoretically just say delete the stalactite and then pass through the player. And then down here, I could then, at that point, I'd have the player, because I'd have the object. And I could say, hey, which weapon are they using? And that would be the cleanest way to do it. It'd be the least number of nodes. Because then I could just do it down here and run it the same for everything. Well, now I've figured out a way to do it. So now I'm like, okay, well, do I do this? Do I make it? Do I test for if it's a rocket launcher or sniper? The other problem is now I've got to think about the fact that they're going to add new weapons in the future. So I'd have to come back in here and add nodes in for every single weapon they add to the game over time, which means it's not a future-proofed game map. And more importantly than that, it's not just that I'd have to come back in here and edit it. It's that this script brain will eventually run out of nodes, and then it's going to take up simulation memory to add more script brains. So I either leave it as one shot and it breaks, or I go through all of this trouble and then I kind of have to constantly update the map to every time they add a weapon, which their leaked rumor is that they are doing the bandit in Season 3, theoretically. I mean, they're pretty sure that they announced that. But I think the rumor is there's just another weapon or something that's potentially coming out in Season 3. But it's a leak, and it's probably just in the build, and it's probably for the next season. It's probably nowhere near done. So, anyway, the point is that this is what I've got. I don't know if I should go that far as to add in a check for which kind of weapon. But I think that it'll be a pain in the butt. I could theoretically say if it's any of these weapons and only list power weapons, then it will deal, it'll take this many shots. I just don't want you to waste like 10 rockets. Like I could make it take 10 pistol shots easy. And that's what I originally had it as. I was like, yeah, it'll take 10 shots to break this thing. And then I went, oh wait, but that means it's going to take 10 rocket launcher rounds too, because it was literally doing 0 damage per shot, and I was just reducing it by 1/10 of its total health. So another idea actually could be that I could ignore all regular weapons, and I could say, well, they all deal just like 1 damage and it's got 10 health, but rockets, sniper rifles, what do you call them, this one, cinder shots, I could even say energy swords will deal, I can ignore that, all of these other weapons will deal max damage, 10 damage to it. I could do that. Then it would only be a few nodes, and then it wouldn't be that bad. Okay, you've convinced me. Or you've made me convince myself. That would require me, actually, you know what? That would require me to add a delete node to this, for this object. And I think we're maxed out on nodes, aren't we? Maybe not. That's the other thing. I could get started on this and waste a whole bunch of time on it. I'll do it off stream. I'll try it off stream. That's what I'll do. It'll be 1 shot to kill it, to shoot them down, unless off stream I try this out and I don't run out of nodes, because I don't want to do another script brain because my simulation memory is already at 96%. And if I have to do a second script brain to make it work, then I think it might be best just to leave it at 1 shot, because I might need to add things for bot AI, and I still need the extra simulation memory to handle my expansions for the glow up version. So yeah, I think maybe it's a good idea to just I'm going all over the place, I know, but I'm also torn about the same thing, and I want them to work properly. On object damage, damage another object that can be broken. On that object broken, activate the thing. But the damage that comes in is still 0. As soon as you shoot this. Like, if I damage this object because it can't be damaged, it immediately reduces damage to 0. So, like, it can only take 0.00 damage is the problem. So, like, I literally can't even transfer that damage off to something else that's, like, out of the map, because this the thing that gets shot, the thing that graphically gets shot, basically has to be the thing where that can receive damage. If I try to transfer that off, it's just going to deal 0 damage to the potted plant. Because all I can do is have this node that says, This is all that you get is on object damage here, and that's your damage amount, and this always comes out as 0 if you shoot that rock, basically. If you shoot an object that doesn't receive damage. That doesn't normally receive damage, rather. So, yeah. Pretty much everything. I think it might be a bug that they'll fix, or it might be that they did, or an unintended feature, like they might have unintentionally designed that as the way it works, and it's not necessarily a bug, but they just didn't think about the potential for if they went out of their way to make sure that you could transfer the damage. And if that's the case, if they can, if they make an update like that, then I don't need to worry about any nonsense with weapons. I don't know, maybe someone should clip this and send it to Forge Lord on Twitter or something, because like that is really a major limiting factor about this node, is that this damage amount is always 0 unless it's an object that can be damaged. And so my stalactites, since I either put something that doesn't look like a stalactite here and have you shoot it, or I script it to where it takes only one shot to kill it, or I test for every single weapon in the game. And if we, I don't know, clip this section of the video and send it to Forge Lord so he understands the problem. If he doesn't already know, because he might already know. Anyway, we're at a point where I can potentially copy it off. Anything to do with this script brain that we're talking about right now, I am willing to redo in the glow up version if necessary, because it shouldn't be too complicated. But or I could even like make it a script brain that is a prefab, save that prefab off, import it in, copy and paste it into the new one, and all that kind of stuff. Should ask that question in the Scripters Guild Discord. I should. Where is that? I don't know if I think I'm in that. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I joined that. Pretty sure one of y'all suggested it. Oh, whoops! I just joined Discord. I just joined a voice channel in Discord. I'm glad that my mic hasn't cut out this entire time, like we was doing yesterday, where like the entire thing was like going burn. I think it's just because I switched it to a different USB port, but also it's a 3.0 instead of a 2.0 port. Let's see. Yeah, here it is, a Scripters Guild. Okay, yeah, I'll ask the question here, but I'm pretty sure the answer is probably going to be the same, because that's what, I mean, Clint was helping me, and he's in the Scripters Guild, I'm pretty sure. He's probably talked to these people before. I don't know if you're still here, Clint, but I'm pretty sure you were the one who was talking to me about the damage, unless it was somebody else. But yeah. But I definitely will. Anyway, we should I can do that after we try Nav-mesh. I don't mind doing that after Nav-mesh. Because like I said, I don't mind doing it again, like fixing it, changing it up again in the glow up version if necessary. Because also if I break it off and I have the glow up version and the old version, I could theoretically make the old version have the old feature, functionality, because I'll have that extra bit of time. So, in the scripting question forum. Okay. Obviously, scripting chat. Scripting questions. There we go. I will... Wait, is it possible to reference a variable for the on-object damaged event? Someone asked. I don't think that has to do with it, though. Anyway, that was like at the very top was something with on-object damage. There might already be a question in here, actually. I'm going to search there whenever I do it. Maybe I can just do that now. Search or create a post. Okay. How about on-object damaged. On-object damage for players. Set on-object damage for each object in a list. On-object damage and players. Apply trait on-object damage. Yeah, okay, so there's some people talking about it. But yeah, let's go in here. Let's save a copy. This file will be saved to your files. Confirm. This is a big moment. It's a big moment, and obviously I'm going to forget the name I came up with, or that we came up with, but the hydrostatic. That's how you spell that, right? Pretty sure it is. Gonna check anyway. Hydrostatic, yep, it's obvious. It's an easy one. Confirm. Now we have a copy called hydrostatic. And now we can build. We can go back in to Waterworks, latest version, and build our thing. Oh, jeez. And build our Nav-mesh. There's a problem with the dedicated server, probably because it's trying to copy it right now. If I had to bet, copying it takes a second. There's hydrostatic in my list. Let's see, version history. I'll just do open this one in Forge. See if this will clear that out. Here we go. Okay, well, while this is loading, we can go over here. On object damage for players. Y'all can probably only see this in the lower right corner, so you can't read it, but is there a way to use the on-object damage for players? Okay. Attempting to use an on-object damage to update the attacking player's score when they hit a player. That's cool. On the opposing team. I was attempting to use get all players on team, blah, 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 and for each object loop, but the for loop is itself an event, so I was getting multiple event error when using an index. Let's see. Not a thing. Would need on-player damaged as a built-in for it to be there. It makes sense, it's been asked for. So you need to give the player a number value, then adjust the player's score or points by the number variable. Yeah, okay, that's a different thing.
I want to know
what's up?
How much spicy peppers and what other ingredients?
What did you say? Oh, you're trying to make things in Breath of the Wild?
The first they're trying to make the warm food for all man.
Oh, okay. It's spicy pepper, the raw meat, and a fish, a Hylian bass. I made it for her account, but she can make it for yours. So meat, fish, pepper.
Wait, she wants to know how much pepper.
1 pepper.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Is it possible to set up events like on-object damage for all objects in a list without having to do it through the individual object references? Kind of like the photo. Let's see. For each object, on-object damage. No, we don't have a generic on-object event, on-damage event. Unfortunately, the best you can do is hook each object reference on the object. Okay, this is not what I want either.
How much fish?
What's that?
I should want to know how much fish.
Just one. 1 fish, 1 meat, 1 pepper. Can you close the door? Thank you. Okay. This has been answered multiple times. You can't use anything other than object. Okay, that one's just in general. What is this one? Apply trait on object damage. I may be missing something obvious here, but could someone look this over for reasons why it's not working? See, I think does want it to run when the object is damaged, in which case try plugging the player object straight into the apply trait set player pin like this. Did I break my map by copying it?
Raw meat or not?
It is raw meat, yes. There's a problem with dedicated server. Let's just close the game and reopen it. Now that we've copied it over, let's close it and reopen it. This will be absolutely hilarious if after all of this work, it corrupted the save file whenever it copied it over. Oh. Okay. The update didn't go through, didn't install on my account, on my game. Try to revoke Forge session. Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know if you can see this, but it's updating. Doesn't look like, wait, can you see it? Yeah, you can see it now. It's updating now. It wasn't updating before. It let me get back into the game and get back into forging my map after their server reboot, but it didn't, the update hadn't gone through yet, or something. So now I'm actually updating. I don't know what was going wrong, what was going on with that, but whenever it booted me earlier, I didn't actually end up having to update to get back into the game. So this person over here is saying, oh, they're not using the damage. Yeah. Okay, so no one has asked this in this forum. It looks like. Okay, well, there you go. But you're right, trying to revoke the Forge session should solve it. It's also currently installing, which should take like 10 seconds. And then we'll be able to get back into Forge, and it should work out great. It does feel good to finally have all those microphone issues solved. In fact, I was listening back. Oh, hey, Clint is back. I think I tried to ask you a question. What's the problem you're trying to solve? Oh, we were just discussing. I think it was you who was helping with it before. Ocom was asking me about the damage and why I can't sort by weapon, and I was explaining that basically when an object is damaged and it's not an object that's designed to receive damage, then the damage becomes 0. And he was trying to see if there was a solution, and if I could go into the Scripters Guild and ask to see if anybody has a solution for it. Even if there isn't a solution, then asking at least in the Scripters Guild will put it into their scripting question section, and the answer will be answered there, so other people will find the answer. You know what I mean? She what? Raw fish, yes. You can't cook cooked fish. My kids are playing Breath of the Wild and trying to get that very first recipe you have to make that you trade for the coat from the old man, or the whatever it is, from the King of Hyrule. What's the problem? Yeah, so the problem we're trying to solve is just we were trying to see if there was a solution to the on-object damaged, trying to find a way where we can actually get the correct damage that's being applied, and then apply that to the target, which is that old problem we were trying to solve before, where it was like the only solution I could think of was to check for which weapon you're using and then categorize them and then use those categories to determine how much damage they could deal. And we were discussing it just now, and I realized that with my redesign of the script, I could theoretically do it, and it might work now and not be a headache. And basically all I would do is say, if it's not a power weapon, deal 10 damage to the 100 health points, or 1 damage to the 10 health points. And if it is a power weapon, deal maximum damage. Do all of it. Kill it immediately. And do 1 shot. And my map is not working, so we're trying to also do that. Where was it again? You go in here, right, and you go version history, and you say... Wasn't it over here? Or am I doing something wrong? You know, it could be. Let's see. Manage collaborators, delete file. Let's see. It could be that I need to revoke a session in hydrostatic because I just created it. No. It's not an option now because it's not the bug. What the problem you're trying to solve? Oh, what we're trying to solve right now, actually, also, is that the file, it's telling me I can't connect to the network. It won't let me go into Waterworks. Let me try going into the hydrostatic. It won't let me get back into the map to edit it. I just made a copy of it. I made hydrostatic. And now it keeps on saying the thing. Try loading a version 20 versions earlier and then load the up-to-date one. The fire team you try to join is no longer available. I didn't try to join the fire team. But I am beginning to think that it thinks that I was joining myself in hydrostatic. Version 20 versions earlier, and then load the up-to-date one. Okay, I'll try that. I wonder if they have special code for the autosave versions. Like, if I try to load into an autosave version, will it, like, basically say, okay, cancel everything else, just load the autosave as if it's a fresh, connection. You know what I mean? Like, if they... That's what I would do if I were them. The autosave is designed to save you from problems. So, this happens to me all the time, dude. Does it happen whenever you copy the map? Because this is something new for me. I've never copied a map. And I'm worried that copying the map killed the old map. But I doubt it. I'm sure that it's got a workaround here somewhere. So we go into version history. Let's go like I could try this autosave. Let's go back like maybe I go all the way to the old autosave. Now let's see. There's how many per page? Yeah, we can probably just do this one right here. That should add up to roughly 20 back. Selected version, and let's see what happens. It also might just be like the server has to catch up. I mean, it's copying over an entire file. It's probably in the process of copying the file, so it refuses to. Like, whenever it does the autosave in the first place and it takes like 10 minutes to let you back in, is because it's trying to make an autosave of a file. It's trying to make a copy of a file, and it takes 10 whole minutes. I hit copy on the file, it might take 10 whole minutes. You know what I mean? The other way, it's trying to create a save file as a copy on the same map, but it's the same thing. I mean, just copying everything in the map to a new file. You know what I mean? So it just might take 10 minutes to clear, or to finish, and then clear, and then let me back in. So is I'm not sure how to word this question over here. Yeah, I'm beginning to think that this is a delay because due to the copy over. Like the other map is available. Hydrostatic is visible in here, but that's only because it created an entry in their server. Like you know what I mean? Like this is a front end entry that just shows a screenshot of the swamp. Sometimes I just have to wait like an hour and restart the game. And yeah, my published version of my map is a copy because my original file bugged out on me. Gotcha. So like all of this is just a front end, you know, default setup of information, right? It's not as much detail, as much information as the actual map file itself with all of its game objects and stuff. So it's possible that created this and named it hydrostatic, and that's in my files, but it's not usable until it finishes actually copying over the actual map file and then making it accessible and like clearing it for accessibility, for being accessible. Because that's another thing, they might have a safety that's just like, we know that if you load into this map while we're copying it, it will break everything, maybe even crash the server. So instead, we're going to make a countdown timer, like a literal like 5 or 10 minute countdown timer that just says you cannot access the map until it's done with those autosaves, you know? And that might also apply to the to copying a file as well. So we will see if it's going to let me in eventually. I'll try this one again. Latest version. But yeah. I guess in the meantime, I can put this over. And I think you're able to see this. There's a problem with the dedicated server is what it says. Okay, we're going to wait a little bit. We're just going to go to the Discord. I'm not sure how to do... I'm going to get rid of this. Infinite stream. There we go. So you can see the Discord. How to word this? That's the question. You can see every single Discord I'm in right now. Not everyone, but there's a few that aren't on screen, but yeah. Okay, this is all my Halo ones actually. I'm in a bunch of Halo ones, and then on the other one I'm in a, and then aside from that I have some other stuff, like D&D ones. Let's see, okay. I'll just say, is it possible to track damage? It was a damage amount for It's a good way to describe objects that aren't default. It can't take damage by default. Is it possible to check damage for indestructible objects? That's not how you spell indestructible. And it doesn't want to suggest the correct one. Indestructible. I don't even know what I did wrong. What did I do wrong? I misspelled destruct. Well, there you go. I'm dumb. Because I can't even think about what it is. How to spell indestructible. What did I do wrong here? I don't see a difference. What did I press? It's the same. I didn't misspell indestructible. What the hell? Okay, Discord. Like, are you kidding me? It's not... Oh, I see what I did wrong. I'm dumb. Okay, I didn't... I thought it auto-corrected over there, but it didn't. Okay, there we go. I'm dumb. Sorry about that. Sometimes I just cannot spell. Damage amount for indestructible objects. Is it possible to track damage amount for indestructible objects with on object damaged? Or is it always 0 point? Oh, can't go that much. Question mark. I guess I'll do that. I guess that's good enough. Let's see. Is it possible to track damage amount for indestructible objects with on object damaged? Okay. This channel for posting explicit questions about how things work, posting things that we aren't sure of, such haven't proven. Ping staff or mods. Rules. Okay. How do I... Oh, I have to actually enter a message. Okay, I see. Now it's letting me enter a message. Okay, cool. I thought it was going to create a topic and then I go into that topic and then start posting messages, but now I understand. But basically, yeah. When you... I'll say when I use an on-object damaged node and the object takes damage, the output is 0.0 for most objects. It appears that the node only outputs a damage value when the object referenced is a destructible object. I just did it again. I just keep on saying able. Destructable. Yeah, you saw that I was misspelling. You finally gave me a proper spelling. But yeah. Okay, it appears that the node only outputs a damage value when the object reference is a destructible object. And outputs 0.0 if the object is any other object simply set to dynamic. For example, you can track damage dealt to pottery, but not to a rock. Has anyone found a workaround, a simple workaround, simple workaround that will track the appropriate amount of damage, or whoop, didn't put 2 P's, or are we stuck trying to get the player's weapon, track every single weapon, or test for, rather. That should not have been an erase. Test for every single weapon in the game, and set a damage value according to the weapon or vehicle currently in use. Every single weapon / vehicle in the game, and set a damage value according to the weapon or vehicle currently in use. Because that's all I've been able to come up with, and it's complex. No, I'm gonna say it's complex and lacks any form of future proofing. I'd have to edit my script every time they add a new weapon to the game. Well, actually, technically, I think it would be every time I add a new weapon to the map, and they have to create the weapon. But let's see. Solved question. Maybe a bug. This might be a bug, so I've marked it as such. But it could just be a feature oversight. Because technically, I don't know if this would be counting as a bug. That could be known shippable very quickly in QA. And that's what I'll post. Like making the spikes work. Let's see. Also, tell your main issue. Like making the spikes work. Someone might have a completely different solution. That's true. Yeah. Let me edit that. Whoops. I forgot you can't just hit enter in Discord. Edit. My main, let's see. Or my map feature. Or something. My script. My script. Or the script I am working on is probably the best way to say that. The script I'm working on is a map feature involving destructible stalactites that will fall when damaged. Right now I have it set to only take one shot because I don't want anyone to waste rockets shooting them down if rockets deal the same damage as pistols, which is 0.0. So my best bet, well, let's see. I haven't implemented my complex solution of testing for which weapons are on the map. But I'm trying to find one. I'm trying to find an alternative. Because I'm trying to find a simpler alternative. Simpler, future-proof alternative. Does anyone have a good way to track damage dealt. Okay, someone might have a completely different solution. Let's see. I have also considered putting, let's see, pottery or destructible objects into the, I've also considered putting destructible objects into the stalactites to take damage and track that, but nothing looks like stone, so it's a bad idea. What's up? You need help with Breath? Oh, you need help with Breath of the Wild? Well, let me see if my map will load, and while it's loading, I'll see what I got. What's the problem?
There's a boss!
There's a boss? Oh, you should just run away from that guy. He's a mini boss. You don't need to fight him.
We need a walk guy!
I know, but I can't fight a whole boss right now. Because I'm on stream still. Still unable to join the fire team. Okay, let's try quitting again, because that could be a bug from trying to join the map from earlier. And see if that will get us back in. Let's see. There we go. I could probably clip. Probably, like I said, clip the video and put a little video in here for people to reference as well. I'd probably clip a different part where I talk about the actual script than the part that I was talking about the problem with. But yeah. So yeah, the script I'm working on is a map feature involving destructible stalactites that will fall when damaged. Right now I have it set to only take one shot because I don't want anyone to waste rockets shooting them down if rockets deal the same damage as pistols, which is 0.0. I haven't implemented my complex solution of testing for which weapons are on the map. I worded that weird, apparently. Let's do Waterworks, play. Not on the map. Testing for which weapons are dealing damage. Because I'm trying to find a simpler and future-proof alternative. Does anyone have a good way to track damage dealt? I have also considered putting destructible objects into the stalactites to take damage and track that, but nothing looks like stone, so it's a bad idea. Okay, so this is still not loading. It's been several minutes. Like you were saying, Germ Guy, I might have to wait an hour. Who knows? In which case this... No, you won't get damage values output from anything that doesn't have a health value. My take is that the total health value change in the tick is what is being sent out. That's what I thought about the never getting anything value output, and that explanation makes a lot of sense. Hope they fix this. Maybe even letting us set... Nah, never mind. That's a silly idea. Being able to set like a... If they had an internal variable for every single object that had like a health, and it was just like a baked-in value, and you could like change how much health each object has, would be kind of cool, especially for like destructible objects, because you would see that. You'd be able to be like, okay, well, this bookshelf, I don't want it to break unless you hit it a whole bunch of times, because I want to turn it around and make it look like a castle wall or castle door or something like that. So I don't want it to be able to break like that, but I want it to break and fall apart like it does in the game, so I want that to be... I want to use this destructible object for this purpose. That'd be great if you could then go into the settings and set up its health to where it's like 1,000 instead of whatever it is now. But right now, you just run into a bookshelf and it shatters. So because of the damage it takes from you impacting it, just kills it. So it would be cool to have a variable in those objects that could set a health. If they made it to where it's something that all objects have, right? Then we could just access the variable that takes, whenever it takes damage, we could just access that variable, and then all objects would be able to take damage, and then of course the node would, work. Excuse me, and then it would take. We could even set it to where, theoretically, they could have a tick box that says, does this object take damage, yes or no? And if you have it set to no, then it would always output 0. And you do that for most of your terrain, because your terrain is probably not something you want to take damage anyway. You don't want the server to have to track every single bullet that hits the wall as a damage point. So if you just say no, if you just leave it unchecked, then every object will just be dead. But then as soon as you say, and that also would allow us to turn it off for those destructible objects. If we want a bookshelf that doesn't break, then we could turn off that it's destructible. Although that may even be the case already, I don't even know. I'm just really hoping the Waterworks isn't broken. Oh, we're in hydrostatic. Did I pick hydrostatic instead of Waterworks this time? Whoops. I was trying to load into hydrostatic a second ago, I think. So there's a problem with the dedicated server. And, to request to join has timed out. Please try again. Okay. Here's something I want to try. We will do... tutorials are not... the weapon drills are not... And the training mode isn't online. Load an older version. Oh, yeah. Let's try that first. You're right. Whoops. Hit the wrong button. Okay. Version history. You are right that this one definitely, loaded earlier. Let's try this one. Hey, it says it's connecting. Wait, was it doing that before and then just timing out? How's it going? You need a diaper change? Oh man. I'm gonna come change it in just a minute. If this thing works, that'll be great. If it doesn't work, then that'll probably be the end of the stream anyway, so then I'll go change your diaper. Immediately. Oh, it's already 2 o'clock. Jeez. I might need to get off anyway. Because I've been going on a long time. This is Royal. Yeah. It's your sister's word card. Wait, you know what that word says? Well, yeah, but I mean, you could have read that one. You didn't have to ask me. Okay. Connecting to server. Okay. Okay, everything is happening at once, and it's connecting to the server, it says. Okay, yeah. Problem with the dedicated server. Okay, I'm gonna have to let it bake, basically. It's copied that thing over, and it broke, and it's possible it happened while the servers were going down, and I'm the only person who will be affected by this, and it may be that Waterworks is completely crapped out. Who knows? Or it's possible it's just a minor bug and it's going to be sorted out after like an hour or so, or maybe, yeah, worst case scenario, maybe next time the servers reboot, which I think they only do that on Tuesdays. But this is it's only a little bit terrifying, yeah, that I just poured all these hours into this map and it just broke on the copy over. I wonder what happens if I copy it now. Like, if I tell it to copy now, will it, will it suddenly, will the new copy suddenly start working? Or what's going on? I also wonder if the Forge team has any kind of method of, like, getting access to these files. It's the game, man. It will sort itself out. Just stay off the game for a few hours. Yeah, exactly. Happens to me every day. I also wonder though if it's not like did the Forge team build themselves an access point to these maps to where they could theoretically, like, if your map breaks permanently and it's like it's been a week since it worked and I've been trying it every day and it won't let me access it, can they go into the actual map file and open it up and see if there's some kind of corrupted data that they could maybe like delete the object that is clearly corrupted from the map or whatever, you know what I mean? I wonder if they did or not, because that seems like it could be really useful to them. Or make a script, their own script that goes through through the map, finds problems and corrects them or deletes them. You know what I mean?
Cooked apples.
But who knows? They might be in the process of setting it up because we're still in beta. You always get cooked apples from those? Yeah, whenever you light the crates on fire, what comes out is cooked apples. That's true. So yeah, I think I've got it. I think it's going to be the end of the stream. And I'm going to see if this thing will sort itself out. I was really hoping to get to bots. I even put I was really thinking we were. I even put the thumbnail for this episode, for this video, is I built to put the little Android emoji bot on there. And nope, we didn't get to it.
Cooked meat at the bag I play. Look at those. I cooked it apples with honey.
Oh, cool. That's a cool idea.
Fish with mushrooms.
Very nice.
Cooked apples.
Well, I need to. I'm gonna get off the stream. I'm gonna say. I guess I'll say goodbye to everybody. And yeah, it's hopefully not broken. I just realized Hydrostatic has this behemoth emblem. Why is that? Like in here, it doesn't have that. So does Waterworks. Yeah, that tells me it's like not even trying to access the map. Maybe I should open one that's not a copy of it's not that map, it's not a copy of that map. And then open up this hyperbolic time chamber, because if this will load in, then and then I try the other ones, it might work. This one is working. You do, you got 11, nice. That's a lot of apples.
So what do I do with all of them?
Well, whenever your hearts are low, you eat them. See how your heart is flashing? That's how much it'll heal you. So I'm not quite signed out yet. I know I just said I was, but I'm going to see if this loads real quick. I mean, obviously this one's loading, but I wonder if I quit this map afterward and try Waterworks if it'll load. And then you guys will know before the end of the stream that no sweat, it's working. And at least that. Because if I try this right after the stream is over and then it works, then you guys would not know. So let me try this out real quick. It's the hyperbolic time chamber. Very cool map. Wait, where is everything? Did he delete the central building? Wait, what did he do? Ah! There was a building in the middle of all this. He just deleted it. Huh. I wonder why. I mean, it's in the picture on the map. You can see it. Maybe he just wanted it to be an empty... He must have copied it over and kept this one as an old one. But I still have access to this version. Or something. Weird. Zelda Breath of the Wild, Halo Infinite, your child playing Zelda, you forging an Infinite. Yeah. Yeah. There's a problem with dedicated server. So yeah, it is just the map. And it's probably going to have to load. It's probably going to process. But yes, that is my daughter playing Breath of the Wild. I can't wait to introduce her to Metroid Prime with the one the remake that's coming. I've got it on the way already. Got it pre-ordered. I know the digital copy's already available, but I have 2 Switches, and you can't play. It's complicated between 2 Switches with your account. I'd have to buy 2 copies of it, effectively, and set the second Switch as the home console for one of my kids, and buy it on their account, and then on my account to have both of them working for everybody. It's really annoying. But for now, I'm just going to get the cartridge. So whenever that comes in, I'm going to be able to introduce her to Metroid Prime as well, and that's going to be awesome. She already plays Halo on console, and so does my 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old. He plays Halo. It's crazy, and he's surprisingly good at it for his age. But yeah, anyway, he likes to blow himself up with plasma grenades. It's one of his